So yeah, let's see. So but when I first got into the room, guys, and I know I'm not like going like step by step, but you guys are getting the information. That's the most important part. They had put the shunt in me so that I'm able to get blood and all that stuff. And they put that, my husband didn't like that because they put it to me on me like the night, like the same day I got there and was settled in my room. And but it wasn't necessary because it wasn't used until the next day. But um, but I guess they want to make sure they prep, so that's one thing as well. Um, and I don't remember when I got the catheter. I think the catheter came in like because they woke me. I had to get up by 5 or 6 a.m. the next day, and by 5 a.m. and the nurse was supposed to be in my room by like 6 a.m. So yeah, so they that's when they started coming in doing more, taking your blood and all that stuff, and make prepping me for surgery, and that's when I got my catheter. um, you guys, so also in the U.S. Okay, so in the U.S. I remember specifically like this: the nurse, the doctor, the anesthesiologist, um, and your significant other, your baby daddy, the husband, and that would be it basically, right? NTZ. So this was quite like a kind of like a shock to the system type of thing. Like my hospital, and I had to just yesterday actually, right before I'm doing this video, I called my doctor to verify if this was because of the coronavirus or because of that's the policy, and he said that it's pretty much policy. The husband is not allowed, you guys, in the on the surgery with me. So I basically had, when I found out, I was kind of like, you know, you, you want to stay strong and not be emotional about it because you're about to go into surgery. You don't want, any, but it was hard. It was heartening, disheartening, that my husband couldn't be in there with me. But y'all, they had a whole football team in that. It was the doctor, anesthesiologist, the nurse, another lady. I guess she was doing the tools. There was people. It was just like it was a lot of people, and it was a lot of people compared to the U.S. I say it was like if it's like 4 people in the U.S., it was, and they took out my husband. My husband couldn't be in there, but there was like at least 8 people in there at a time. Yeah, and I don't, and it's not like it was a. I don't. It wasn't. It's not a teaching hospital, so it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of people. Um, yeah, take one of them out and put my spouse in there. You know what I mean? But the anesthesiologist was really, really nice, and he was talking to me, and like, are you okay? You want to, he was cool. He was nice. So, um, so my husband had a lot of work to do in our business, so he was, kind of back, he was back and forth, but my daughter was the one that stayed with me, you know, with everything throughout the night and things like that, and she also got to eat, and I just want to add, I'm not sure in the U.S. if if your spouse gets free meals. I don't remember, but in TZ, no. Like we was paying cash for her meals, and it was, it's TZ money, y'all. So it was like between 4,000 T shilling and 6,000 T shillings depending on what she was getting, you know, and yeah. So she stayed with me, and you know, got to meet her baby brother first. So yeah. Another thing that they don't have in the in this hospital, and I don't think they do this in any other hospital either. Like, that's just my opinion. Um, but you can, find out from someone else as far as other hospitals go. But they did not have, how they have like the first of all, they didn't have no lactation. Anybody came to me, and honestly, I feel like Africa is so like authentic and raw. They're like, yo, just the baby, just it'll come, it'll happen. Because I kept telling them, like, okay, like, because I don't know, for some reason I felt like maybe I forgot because there's like a 7-year gap, 6-7 year gap between Journey and Richie. So I'm like, okay, why is it's not coming out, but they kept saying, oh, yeah, just put it in there, it'll be fine, and even at one point the nurse, which I, it was the nurse from all my previous visits, like during my pregnancy, and she's a sweetheart, but she actually put Journey's his thumb in his mouth so he can soothe himself and things like that. But she wasn't really crying, but I guess just because I wasn't, nothing was coming out, and I don't know, I felt a way about that because I don't really like the whole thumb sucking thing, but whatever. But yeah, there's no lactation. Anybody that came, so that's one thing that was kind of like, oh, okay. And also at later on, but there was no photography. There's nobody that came in and took pictures of the baby and all that stuff, whatever, and whatnot. Which I think, hey, entrepreneur, hello, knock knock. That might be a great something for someone, but then again, you have to consider, side note, if you're gonna consider doing something like that for hospitals, typically that's like unzungus or tourists who would want something like that. As far as Tanzanian, but they're not really big on pictures and videos and all that stuff. So, but hey, you never know. So yeah, no lactation and no pictures. The nurses came and checked on me. The doctor came and checked on me eventually. And I was encouraged to get up and walk, like, let's go. Like, I'm here to get you up and walking. And I think after my very first walk to the, and it was the next day. The very next day, was it the very day or that night? I don't remember, but when I was walking, like right after that, they took out my catheter just so I can be more, get to the bathroom. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But you guys, so before I was being that Journey is, we're from the U.S. and being that he is born here in TZ, I had to get a form that states that for specifically for their government, but also so I'm able to start the procedure to get him his U.S. social passports and all that kind of stuff and birth certificate. So they as of right now, just so you know, like up in Journey is basically dual citizenship up until he is, well, technically, no forms have been done yet, but he's basically a dual citizenship up until he's 18. Then he can decide what he wants to do. And this right here, can you see it? Yeah, this basically is the paper that I got from the nurse. It gives you guys his name, his birth, and the hospital and things like that. And this is what I'm gonna take to I'm gonna take this to the office when I'm gonna get that that stuff started. But we're not really in a rush. I mean, as long as I have it, I'm good. And you guys, I really can't believe I don't have. I'll put a picture of the I'll post a picture of the registration card I was telling you guys about, because I can't believe I misplaced it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you guys as far as the hospital there. But that's basically it. Like I went there every time, for my appointments. Um, People there, they're great. There's different. They had it's a nice, it's a big hospital, to be honest with you. Um, my doctor was pretty awesome. I had no big requirements about it. I do prefer um, well, there was many reasons. One reason is that I'm mama duck. Like, you're gonna see all the ducklings behind me. Like, so when I travel, like, I'm gonna want to travel for everybody, and being here in the US, that's the point. Be traveling like that. You know what I mean? So that's one reason why I didn't really want to have to, because we considered going to US for me to deliver for a while. And if I had to go by myself or just me and my daughter, I'm like, I don't want to be separate like that, So that's one reason why I'm glad that it happened how it happened. Um, Also, the food is much better. You know what I mean? And I feel like uh, that's something that really improves on your road to recovery. You know what I mean? Like putting good things in you and not whatever they be serving you over there. um, Being with my family, and just the warmth. You know what I mean? Like the guys like that took care of me. Like they spoke to me like like regular people. They made jokes like regular people. It wasn't like so you know they even made jokes, y'all. You can take it or leave it, how depending on your humor. But they even made jokes about because my husband is Jamaican, so that everybody assumes I'm Jamaican too. Plus, I have locks, so they even make jokes about about weed and and all sort of stuff. So the you can say it's a lack of professionalism, but I just take it as people just being people. You know what I mean? So and they took good care of me. Um, you know, it felt like it felt homey. It felt homey. Um, and my son was healthy, which is like the most important part. Oh, another thing, you guys, too. So my son, like, I plan to circumcise him, and in the U.S. they circumcise them same day. Here, no, they don't do that. So you have to wait, make the appointment with the pediatrician, yada yada, and then have a circumcision, if that's the case for you. So yeah, it doesn't happen the same day, which I was like, you know, kind of want to get over with when you want to do that. But and you know what? There was a little boy that was next to me when I was like just. They basically put me like after my surgery. I was in a hallway for a little bit, waiting to go into my recovering room, and there was a boy next to me also laid back on a stretcher, and he just had his. And I was like, yo, the guy that was with me, the nurse, I was like, so what's up with him? And he had a circumcision. That boy was about 8 or 9 years old, y'all. I was like, ooh, nah. So yeah, we ain't waiting that long. um, but yeah, what else can I tell you guys about it? Let's get into the money, you guys. Let's get into the money about this. Let's talk about some money. And I saved all of my receipts for you guys. I saved all my receipts and I added them all up. Okay, so as far as the money, so I told all the money, you guys, and the total amount of money we spent between visits when I was pregnant and delivery and all that, the total amount, I'm not good at reading millions. I ain't gonna front with y'all, so I'm gonna write it down. But the U.S. dollar amount, the total that we spent in U.S. was $1,951.55 total, and mine that does not include the fees though that we paid every time we swipe the card, but yeah, so that's the total amount, one almost $2,000, almost, and that's it for visits, no insurance, C-section, and that does include my medications. So yeah, this like they're not trying to pump. They didn't pump me up with a bunch of you know things that I didn't want. Like they didn't like they asked me one time if I there was a specific. I think it was I forgot which vaccine they asked me if I had specifically had, and because I had a period of time where I can not take it, and I think I was still within that time from my last pregnancy, which I had to call and find out, and it was kind of a hassle, but I just like, I'm good, whatever. Like I didn't like I don't they didn't you don't get all these extra things. Birth is a natural part of life, and I feel like they're so more towards that. Like you don't get extra stuff just cause. You know what I mean? Like, and it was it was a good experience. Yeah, we didn't have all these extra amenities or whatever, but I wasn't trying to stay there no way. I want to get home. Home is the amenity. So I prefer here. Like my family was here. The money was definitely right. You know what I mean? Like who can pay for a C-section, you know, in the U.S. out of pocket, no insurance. Okay? Well, who can pay for it, but it ain't us. So yeah. And so and also when we were leaving, you guys, we had the oh, there it goes, you guys. Here it is right here. This is what the registration looks like. It just basically has can you guys see it? Let me just do like the YouTubers do. Ah. But it basically just has my the registration number from the hospital, my name, the area we were living in, which was Sakina, my date of birth, female, and the year. So I take this with me every time I go, along with the card, the vital chart. And when we were leaving, we got the discharge papers, and it includes basically, what the doctor said, like when I was admitted, the baby, things like that, medication when I'm leaving, if any, follow-up date, and we just recently got this. The thing I told you about Journey being, born outside the U.S. We just recently went and picked this up because I haven't gone. I went to one appointment since I've had Journey, and he checked my scar, which was, he did a great job. I wish they kind of made a little joke about that too, like when I first went in, you guys, because it was like, oh, I was listening. It was like, oh, my scar is kind of like, I don't know if they think like the U.S. is kind of like, a little vain, like they have that low, beach body type scar. So whatever, but he followed along, and it's pretty good, and it was I had no complaints about it. I think hubby's back. Yeah, so I'm healing perfectly. So yeah, and this right here basically has like, it's another part of the discharge, and it has like the fees, like they the bed you pay for, the laboratory, the medicine, and all that stuff. Just a breakdown of the fees and stuff. But yeah, y'all, like I have no complaints. My baby's healthy. I'm healthy. I got to stay with my family. Can you imagine? Like I would have gotten stuck, you guys. Like Lord knows, like if I had decided to go to the U.S., like there's been quite a couple of things that have happened in amongst our family where it's like, if this sort of had happened, we'd have been separated during this whole epidemic. You know what I mean? So I'm like, thank God I decided let's just stay here. Like, my doctor took good care of me. I had no quorums. So I'm like, yeah, and our family gets to be together, and that's the most important part to me. So if you ask me, TZ versus US, I already gave you like, the ups and downs. But I feel like the good definitely outweighs the bad as far as having the baby here, you know, delivering here. So if you're considering it and you have a family and you're considering just living out here, or if you're already pregnant and you're coming out here, just do your research, find a good doctor that you're comfortable with, you know, one that speaks your language as well. Shout out to Freddie, Traveling Sister's husband, who came to a couple of visits with us because in the beginning, because you know not everybody there speaks English, you know, and after we got set up, it was like easy peasy, you know. So it was. I don't regret my decision to stay here and have the baby out here. You know, yeah, obviously other family members have been, you know, it would have been nice to have them around, but you have to go with life's plan, you know. So yeah, and there's always like that. So that's it, you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for your your reaching out, your questions, and keep them coming. I hope this helps anybody, any family. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon in the next video. And yeah, Journey is still asleep. Bye, guys. Thanks again.